and we really super appreciate having the champ on. Chase Sexton, what's up, man? How are you?
Oh, doing pretty good. Not gonna lie. How are you guys?
I bet you are. I bet you are. Are you still hungover, or is it okay? Is it better today?
No. We're good today. I had yesterday was
right.
Long day. I flew out at 2 out of Salt Lake, and I didn't get home till 1:30 this morning.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So
okay.
It was a long day yesterday.
Well, yeah. I mean, with how late you probably stayed up after the race, being we didn't get out of the track until 2 a.m. It was probably pretty easy. Yeah,
I was up till about probably 4.
Well, main event plus an empty stomach plus a champagne bottle.
Yeah.
That's an instant headache on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
So, okay, so obviously congrats on the championship. That's awesome. But you win Salt Lake. You lap up to 6th. Kenny goes out early. The one guy that could maybe give you a little bit of trouble. AP rode well, but Kenny goes out early. You've got the title. What's it like? You can't be trying that hard, Chase, but maybe you are, but yet you lap up to 6. So then I think to myself, he is trying really hard. Or is it more like, I'm having a great time out here riding my dirt bike, weaving through the guys, the lappers, and then you're crushing it. What's the main event like for you when you know you have this championship that you've dreamed of, and you have this massive lead, and you're lapping up to 6? What's that like?
Honestly, even all week, kind of knowing, that Eli obviously wasn't racing, and the championship was pretty much over, that I still wanted to win Salt Lake, more than anything.
All right.
Honestly came into Salt Lake thinking, if I don't win this race, it's win or bust kind of thing.
Jeez.
Which, not that it made sense, that makes sense at all, but that was my mindset.
Okay.
And I was so, ready to go for that main event, especially with how the track was, those are kind of my ideal conditions, some slickness, but also rutted, and the whoops were pretty good. So I don't know. I was riding as hard as I could, and I wanted to just I kind of wanted to just make a statement and go out and win by a ways. So I don't know. That was kind of my mindset, and I honestly was having a lot of fun at the track too. The track was really good. Yeah,
Cade said it actually in the main line. It was pretty fun, right, Cade?
Yeah. I thought the track was awesome. In the main, the 3 out off that 5-footer was terrifying. The whole main. I don't know if you were going 3 on off or if you were going 2.
No, I wasn't. I could have 3 down for sure, but I didn't want to go off
into those ruts,
especially when I didn't feel like I needed to.
When we rolled through there on the sight lap, I almost started to cry. I was like, I got to jump into these things 26 times.
Hill was going 3 on off, I think.
Oh, great for him. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked a little sketchy for sure. That was when Moran's got sent off in those ruts, shot off to the left and just went over the bars.
Yeah. I was coming into the whoops right when he did that because I had already crashed.
Yep.
And he jumps off into the tough blocks and just right over the bars, and I'm like, oh, I come around and he's already up. I'm like, great.
So Chase, I was thinking you weren't trying that hard, but no, you wanted to make a statement, you wanted to dominate it, and you wanted to crush it, and that's what you did. Yeah. So
that was a mindset going into the weekend.
I don't appreciate you slowing down on the last lap and not lapping Chiz, because he was trying to run me down, and I was sucking wind trying to not let him catch me, and I was like, oh man, maybe Chase will just lap him and there's just enough gap that he won't lap me and I'll be fine. And of course, no, you just decide you're going to go slow as hell on the last lap. Thank you.
I didn't want to do it at that point. I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do anything stupid now. I didn't want to go by him in the loops and catch an edge or something down, or cross rut on that 3. So I'm like, I'm just going to cruise this last lap. And I mean, by the mechanics area and stuff, I was rolling around. So
I know. I was watching. Trust me. I know.
Yeah, I didn't want to get in front of him and just roll around. So I was just like, I'll let Chiz. He'll do another. I think he must have went down. I think he went down early.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I was just let him. I just wanted to kind of cruise the last lap, and I didn't realize he was right. Did he ever end up getting you?
No, thank God.
Yeah.
I did my third fastest lap on the last lap, trying to not let him catch me.
Yeah, he'll hunt you down too.
Oh, he will. He's relentless, dude. Trust me, I know.
45 years old and still just grinding out there. Chiz. Did you get a little emotional a little bit on your last lap? Or did you think about stuff? Did you think about the sort of the trials and tribulations of even this year, never mind other aspects of your career? Like, did it kind of hit you a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely hit me on the last lap, and like going over the finish line, it was honestly, I feel like I was even more emotional on Friday, like at the press conference. I almost like started like getting a little bit choked up in the press conference. I kind of knew what was going to happen on Saturday.
Yep.
But honestly, by the time Saturday, I was already kind of mentally for it, and it felt good. It's a dream come true. Focused on winning the race. That by the time the race is over, I'm like, well, I guess it's just over now. But it was
right.
No, it was really cool, and I had a lot of people there from Illinois, and obviously my parents were there, my sister, one of my sisters at least, and then my trainer and my girlfriend's family. Everyone was there, so it was really cool, and it's definitely special. But honestly, it's the way I've been feeling this last honestly since really Phoenix. I felt so good riding, and like finally on Supercross, I feel like I really broke through, and I kind of want to just keep going, but it's obviously time to switch gears and head on to outdoors, so looking forward to that as well.
Well, that leads me perfectly to my next question. Renthal bringing you Chase Sexton here. JT and I imagine this. We had a little bit of debate on our show a couple weeks ago. Like I was saying, look, has Chase figured this out? Like he's winning now. Obviously, you ran into the 51. You ran into the Honey Badger at 51 at East Rutherford. But other than that, it's been great. And the debate of us was like, has he figured this out, or is it a no pressure situation? And he has to win out. He's only got to. We already know, regardless, you're the fastest guy all year. So there's no pressure now because you were sort of out of it, and now you're just relaxed and flowing, and you're winning. Or did you figure something out, bike-wise, riding technique-wise, to make it come together? Like, what % would you say were those two factors in this last run?
I mean, definitely. I think the beginning of it was like, okay, well, I have to win, and I did. Yep. I did win Atlanta, and then after that, I don't know. Everything just seemed to come like not easier, but one, it gives me confidence that okay, I can lead these races from start to finish and not make a bonehead mistake. And also, we did do some testing after or before Phoenix, and like honestly, Phoenix I rode super well too. I didn't really get great starts. Besides the second main, I got a good start, and the third main, I got pushed really wide. So, honestly, since the break, I've been really confident. I hadn't really made too many mistakes, I think, since then. And I think part of that has to do with the bike, and then partly also just when you do win, and you win like how I did in Atlanta, it just gives you a really big boost of confidence. And once you have that, it's like it's a snowball effect on the good way, because I was doing the opposite. I was snowballing in the wrong direction. So I think once you win a race like that, you start getting momentum on your side, and that's kind of what happened. And like going into this weekend, I feel so comfortable out front, like the whole time now. It's just like it feels natural to me. And before it felt natural being out front, but I was always thinking about how long the race was and how much time I have left, and that's something that is not good when you're leading the race. So now I've got that out of my system. Yeah. And
So JT, we were both maybe half right on this. Neither one of us was totally correct on the run that Chase is on.
Well, and I thought too, it ended up not mattering. I don't know if that's a word, but at East Rutherford when Barsha he made that move in the first lap, and then a lap later or whatever, or right after that it happens again, you go down. I was like, that to me was such a pivotal moment, because you had that race in Atlanta. You're getting on, you could see the momentum was building. You get the whole shot, and I'm like, he's going to check out right here. And then Barsha just comes barreling in there. And I was like, after the race, I'm like, that had to be such a deflating moment for Chase, because I think he is the fastest guy right now. Eli's on the back foot with this injury thing. We don't know how that's going to go. Like, he ended up pulling it out and getting a second. But on that first lap, you don't know what Eli's going to do. Chase is out front. Like, the championship felt like it was shifting right there for a second, and then it all kind of came unwound whenever you and Barsha came together. So to me, that was like a big moment. In the end, still played out the same, but I was just like, man, that was like a real chance for you to get on a run and win it without any of the other drama that ended up happening.
Yeah, I was I don't know, I was pretty bummed out after that race, just because how that pass went down. I didn't feel like it was. Well, for me, I mean, you could look at it both ways. You could look at how Barsha, he obviously wanted to make as many passes in the beginning of the race as possible and not get dirty. But for me, I was defenseless, really. I threed in the corner, and obviously you have to go straight to the rut because you can't really stop in the mud. So went to the rut, and I followed the corner around, and all of a sudden he's like, I'm going towards the loops, and he's kind of coming at me. So I almost actually stopped quick enough where I almost saved it, but obviously went down. So after that, yeah, I kind of had to salvage what I could, but that was definitely a little bit frustrating. But I think even after that, I kind of picked up right where I left off in Atlanta and Nashville. I feel like I still had confidence in myself, and like I said, that it honestly was a good test for me too, because having that race in the middle where could have been deflating, I picked right back up where I needed to, and Nashville was good again.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and I just meant, I guess, on a points level. I was like, man, this could really shift, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, after leaving that race, I'm like, man, like that was really why I was pretty bummed out, because I was like, I still feel like I had a fighting chance if I could win these last however many rounds were left.
Yep.
And that kind of like really put a damper on my chances, especially because I wasn't really racing him for the title. But yeah, so I don't know. Anyways, it all works out in the end. But yeah, I was definitely a little bit frustrated about that one.
Chase, I have two questions, and they're both coming from like a Kiefer type of perspective. But going back to your testing after Seattle, going into Phoenix and stuff like that, I had a debate with, I think it was Nicoletti, of which way we thought you went with your forks. Now that it's over, I don't know if you'll answer it, but like I personally thought that you would have went softer because your forks looked way more plush when the track started to break down, where he thought you went stiffer. Can't remember if it was Nicoletti or not that I had this with, but can you kind of let us know which way you thought you went with your forks? Because that's what I heard that you were changing a lot.
Lars just broke his signal.
Oh, you broke up there, Chase. What'd you say?
You hear me?
No, yeah, we do now. Yeah. What'd you say?
Okay. No, I do believe we went stiffer. Yeah, we went stiffer. The biggest thing for me is we changed the angle, or my clamps. We went from 22s to 24s. So made the bike long, and then we also went one. I'm trying to think how they do it. It's 24s, but we went 1 mil farther out, so the bike was longer. Mm-hmm. I was on 15 mil kicked out races, so we went back to normal race, but we also I don't know what they call it, but anyways,
it should be races.
Made the bike longer and more stable with the front end, and then we also changed my fork setting, just being more progressive and a little bit stiffer.
Yeah. I made, when I was on the Honda last year, I wanted it longer too. I always ran my chain all the way at the back, all that stuff. Just it almost helped a lot in the whoops for me. I'm not at your level in the whoops anyways, but like that's where I struggled a lot with the Honda, was keeping it straight in the whoops.
Yeah, my bike is as long as it can possibly get it right now. I think it's all the way stretched out in the back, and then also now with the front end kicked out like farther out, it's long. So I really did that just so, well, one, I didn't know what was going on at the end of the races, but I just felt like there was just a little bit of, there was no room for error really for me, and doing that allowed me to kind of, if I was losing the front end a little bit, I had time to react to it and save it. With before, I didn't have any room to react. Like, I'd just be on the ground. So that was kind of my whole mindset behind it. It didn't really help me like as far as speed or anything, just more focusing on the end of the race. And with my forks, the same thing. I wanted something that was more everything reacted slower. So that's kind of what we went after.
It's forgiving a little bit.
Yeah. And that's where obviously I think people think that you were struggling was late in the main, so I assumed you were trying to get a better feel there. Because I think Eli sets his bike up for the mains, right? Like Chase is obviously lightning fast in practice every week, but Eli's always there late. So I think that's something that everyone needs to learn from us, even myself.
Yeah.
Like I can go fast in practice, but I suck in the mains. So it's like I'm trying to change my bike a little bit to help set that up. Did after your blowout win in Atlanta, I noticed you had someone there with you in Atlanta that I hadn't seen a lot. A lady friend. Is that the new reason? Like after you just crushed it that weekend, is that why you were like, oh no, you got to come to the rest of them now? Because I think I saw her at every round after that.
Honestly, it was almost the opposite effect because she was she came so.
I saw her at Daytona.
It's not really. It's not somewhat. It's been since like the beginning of the season. She was at Anaheim 1, Anaheim 2. She had been to this kind of seemed to. She didn't think. Oh, she wasn't. She missed one, I think, maybe after that. But she was pretty much there for most of them. So it was.
Oh, so Kate just happened to notice.
I was going backwards. I'm like, man, this really isn't working out.
Well, I talked to him more towards the end of the season.
Oh, okay.
And we were pitted next to each other in Atlanta, and I think that was the first time I ever saw her.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, he crushed it today. She's coming to every round after this.
You know, talking about those races too. You can change trail and rake with races. We did that at Yamaha, so. I don't know if you change the rake or the trail or both. You can do both.
So the trail, the 15 mil races kicked it out and had more trail. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It confused me.
The trail is lengthening the bike and rake is changing the angle. Yeah.
Yes. So the 15 mil was more trail, but it was 22s, and then we went to 24s, and 24s actually had, I think they said less trail than 22s.
Okay.
But
then you had the 15s.
Yeah. So, and then we changed. We didn't do the races. The 50. It was something else that made it. It made it have more trail than the 24. I don't know. It's confusing.
Listen, Chase. I'm working a deal right now. Kiefer and I are with Lars to ride your bike for a test. So I'll tell you.
That's right.
I'll tell you what.
You can tell. You can get all the technical.
I'll tell you how it works and everything else. So
you're going to put it to the test. So
yeah, exactly, absolutely.
Are you going to ride it on Supercross?
No, I will not be riding Supercross.
If that happens, I'm coming.
Yeah, me too. I would love to be there.
Too.
No, I believe it'll be outdoors. That's more my specialty. But we're working on it. So hopefully Lars can make it happen. We have the 450 Supercross champion on the line right now. Please give us a call, 702-586-7857. If you want to talk to Chase Sexton, brought to you by the folks at Renthal. So what does, unfortunately for you, Chase, it's like you just had the biggest title of your life. You dreamt of this. You just won it. Yeah, a couple days off, and we'll see you at the outdoor track, right? So how's the testing? How's the testing going? How's that?
Yeah, that's one thing that makes it a little bit more difficult or not difficult to celebrate. It does, but there's always that in the back of your mind, we got to get ready for another championship here in about 3 days. So the team flew down here today. We are testing this week in Florida. So yeah, right back to work. Last year we had 2 weeks off. We had 2 weekends off, which was nice because I was allowed to take the first week pretty much off and then test and then moto, and it was like perfect. But now it's like, okay, well, we only have really 1 week to test a lot, and then I've been doing moto, so I had been doing moto since basically before Atlanta. On outdoors. So I'm pretty good there. We do need to test a little bit. I'm on last year's setup, but there's always
just leave that. Just leave that.
Well, I have a question. So I watched Weed show or interview with. I don't know if it was on the broadcast. Weed was talking about that you had just stayed with Supercross, like you were all in on riding Supercross, staying focused on Supercross. So is Weed just
fake
an
news?
Idiot?
Fake news.
Or
no, Weed was wrong in that.
Okay. Fair enough. I will make sure to make a note of that.
We will make sure that he knows this, Chase. Don't worry.
I've already talked to Weed. He came up to me. He must have been staying at the same hotel I was this weekend. On Friday, he's like, "You think show 1 next year or show 2 for the previous show?" So,
was Chase on show 2?
Yeah, he was on show 2, and I was very upset.
Oh, that's difficult.
I couldn't believe it.
Steve pitched a fit. If you haven't met Steve,
he put Anderson, Webb, Tomac on 1, which is fine. That's great.
It was fair.
And then you need to put Chase Sexton also in 1. So
no, the only reason we do it is so people watch the damn second show. Like it has nothing to do with Chase. Chase was we all knew Chase was going to be great. No. If you watched anything from last summer, you knew Chase was going to be great. We just need people to watch episode 2.
Wow, that's not how.
It was funny though because Weege actually brought it up to me, and I think he was the one that was being like, I mean, he was saying his point, and it was just funny that he brought it up to me. I
Yeah.
think twice this weekend. Actually.
Yeah, no,
So.
because he was getting shit on by me and Beaker and everybody. We're like, what are you doing? So, by the way, let's get some phone calls here. We got Melissa on one. What's up, Melissa? You talking to Chase Sexton? What's your question for him?
Hey, what's up? I just wanted to, number one, say congratulations. Way to keep going and never giving up. Awesome season.
Thank you.
My question, I'm from Illinois, and I have got to get one of those red champ T-shirts that everybody had on after the race. How do I get one?
Oh, boy.
I actually think I just talked to my agent Beeks today. We're actually going to do a drop with those. So I think they come out Friday, maybe.
Oh.
I think that's what he said. So
sweet.
there's a little bit of a teaser. I think they come out Friday. Don't quote me on that. I'm not, as you can tell, I'm not super.
Not head of merchandise.
What's going on?
Well, I'll be
Besides,
watching.
outside of riding.
Okay. Thanks, Melissa. Yeah, keep an eye on
Thank
social.
you.
All right.
Yeah,
I
thank
will,
you.
Thank you.
Check the drop. Renthal.com bringing you Chase Sexton. We have Faith on 5.
All the
Hi,
ladies.
Faith. Thank you for calling, Faith.
Congratulations on your win, and I hope to see you at Southwick.
There we go. Look at that.
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Hope to see you there.
Thanks, Faith. Thank you for calling. Wow. Southwick.
Love it.
Yeah.
Southwick.
No, well, my question was going to be like, sometimes as you get near end of Supercross, and Coop said this one year when he won his title, he's like, man, he struggled at outdoors a little bit. And he's like, I just rode Supercross the whole time. I wanted to win the title. I didn't ride any outdoors. I told my team I don't want to ride
That's
outdoors.
what we said Chase was doing.
I know,
What
but
the hell?
now Chase, that was my question. And now Chase is like, yeah, I've been riding motos, so he's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually did it for two reasons. I think one, obviously, I think it helps with riding Supercross. Actually, I think when you ride outdoors, you get so stuck into riding Supercross that it almost becomes like, I don't know,
You lose that like aggression to want to be better.
say that.
I was trying to talk over the static.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you there? You back? No, we lost him. Oh,
Yep. Chase.
You got me?
oh,
Yep,
you're back.
there he is.
All right.
Dude, I don't know what's going on. I'm sitting in the same spot.
Yeah.
But do you guys hear what I was talking about?
No.
Oh, I just said, I think sometimes when you're looking so close to something, you need to step back and kind of reevaluate what's going on. I think outdoors helps you kind of get that new perspective and just changes it up. And then also I wanted to get ready for the summer and try and one up what I did last year.
We had a question from a listener wondering if you had reached out to Eli or if he had reached out to you since he got hurt.
I haven't. I don't have Eli's number. He's
Okay. Yeah.
he's kind of not that I don't haven't talked.
No,
I haven't
yeah.
talked to him about
Right.
what happened, but his mechanic actually came over and was super cool this weekend.
That's awesome.
Pretty much really, I guess, appreciative of obviously what Eli and I went through last summer and then this year also. It's pretty cool, and I always give Eli a lot of props because obviously he's very gnarly and has earned everyone's respect. And for me, he's taught me so much, and especially last year outdoors, it's crazy how much I learned. And this year, I feel like I was battling myself more than really anybody else, but it was also cool to be able to race him. And yeah, he's a gnarly competitor.
We had Kenny on last week, and then we had Chiz on the week before, and they both were telling us that they practiced with you during the week. And Kenny's like, I'm just gonna say it, man. Chase is faster than me. I can't. I watch him on a Wednesday, and he's just gone. And Chiz is like, you should see Chase on a Wednesday. He's like, I get so depressed. So both of those guys in consecutive weeks were like, they go, you think he's fast on Saturday? So
Yeah,
pretty funny. Yeah.
I actually listened to Kenny's thing last week.
Yeah.
No, he was. Yeah, he actually. I actually think it's almost opposite. I think even we rode together the week before, and we did a moto together. I mean, I might have beat Kenny by 5-6 seconds, but he honestly sometimes even in the past, I think I've almost gotten worse at practice now than I was before. But I've gained some on the weekends. I've stopped putting so much emphasis on.
Right. You're breaking up. he stopped putting so much emphasis. Meanwhile, he's the fastest qualifier in 15 out of 30.
14 out of 17 rounds, dude. We were talking about that in Atlanta. He had like 90% of them. It was crazy.
Yeah.
You guys hear me?
Yeah. You're back. Yeah, you're back.
Yeah. I just stopped putting emphasis on trying not to put as much emphasis on practice, but
Yeah. Wow.
Well, you could
at the races, I want to this weekend for sure. I wanted to qualify fastest. I wanted to have 14 and not 13.
We could see it. I could see you. It's funny, like, and there have been not just you, but guys over the course of history where that Stu was that guy. There have been guys that are just so fast at their qualifying lap, and you are that guy now. And you can see you lining up for it, right? You get these sections dialed in, your cruise past the mechanics area, and then you set up this heater. Now, like, anybody that's not really paying attention, I'm like, here comes the fastest lap, and you're just like ripping, like it's just, and then straight to the top of the board. Like it's so predictable. It's been like that all year.
How about there was one? I want to say it was Denver. Maybe someone was on top, and it was almost the time was over. And then Chase, you looked up, and you're like, "Oh, this can't happen on my watch." And it was your last lap of the final practice, and you said it, and it was like you were like, "Oh no."
Detroit was that way.
Was it? Okay, yeah.
Detroit, I know it was a battle between Kenny and I, because Kenny and I just had this little, like, not like battle, but it's just funny because we just want to one up each other. And then Anderson got us both. And I'm like, I had one. It was like 10 seconds left. I'm like, I got one more lap. We got to go throw it down.
Chase Sexton on the show, brought to you by the folks at Renthal. Before we let you go, Chase, like, look, I picked you for the championship this year, and it happened. And I was upset that Weege took you off the show number one. I mentioned last year that you were going to go on a McGrath in 93 kind of run. And I've been there, and I've been supportive, and I'm impressed by your riding. And then there's this guy is claiming he's a ship, and he's from another country. It doesn't make a lot of sense. He's saying that what are we going to do with this guy? I mean, he's running around saying he's the captain of this ship. And
funny accent.
Yeah, like, I don't know. To me, it's like I've always been there. This guy just shows up,
I will say, you've been on my side the last, I feel like you've always been kind of on my side, but especially the last, I don't know, year and a half.
Yeah.
So
before he ever showed up.
Because Lewis, he came to America. Obviously, Lewis he's all in. Like, I feel like if I have a bad night, it almost hinders him more than me. Obviously, it's not true, but he rides the wave, and it got a little rough on the ship.
Got a little rocky. Yeah.
We might have been in port there for a little bit, middle of the season.
I don't get this guy. I don't even know who he is. Yeah, he's I don't know. I will say this though, Sexton, don't go back and listen to any shows that I did when Honda bumped you to 450 for the outdoors.
I remember.
I'm like, oh my God, that's a bad idea. Like, what are they thinking? So
I have a very good memory of
Steve talking shit,
especially even this year. Like I've had all the in my head of all the people that I've heard and the negative comments. Even like just recently, I got that all kind of in storage, and I just use that as motivation. That's what gets me through the weeks and into the races. But no, I remember.
Yeah,
I'm immediately taking inventory of
Yeah,
everything I've ever
JT
said.
is now thinking hard. But no, I was like, they're going to move him up to 450s. Like, he's won one outdoor moto on a 250. Like, is this good? Now, I know that 250, you guys weren't happy with the bikes, and they weren't the greatest and all that. So and you were growing, so there was a little bit. I was like, holy shit, at Paula. I'm like, oh, well, we're good. We're good. Like, Loretta's
fastest right out of the gate.
We're good. Yeah. Stop it. He's fine. But I was worried.
Yeah, no, it was actually, I think the one I do really remember, I think Reed actually said something. Maybe it was.
Yeah, he does that.
Oh, yeah, that's odd.
He does that.
Was it on your show?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It was on a podcast. I know he said something about it, and I'm like, I will make that. Not that I don't have, like, Chad was like my idol growing up. But when he said that, I'm like, okay, I gotta prove a point. And obviously, I think it's worked out so far. But honestly, you guys had every reason to kind of question my jump up, but I feel like I was confident that I could be better on a 450 than the 250.
Listen, he's one of the closest friends I've ever had, and the things he said to my face are not repeatable.
Yeah.
Unforgivable and
Chad's
not repeatable.
got some hot takes.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah. I respect it. I actually like I'm like one of those guys that I'm so if I have an opinion, I feel like I'm very like on one. I'm not in the middle. I'm either on one side or the other.
Yeah.
It's like there's no in between. So I kind of respect like even like Steve when you say like I feel like there's no in the middle with you. Like it's either this way or no. Like so I respect that. So when Chad says stuff like that, it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, I'm currently not able to talk to the Lawrence brothers because of that same things that I say. So,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, people get mad about it, but it's.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like
you
you
have
have
an opinion.
I feel like you have pretty thick skin. Like I enjoy honesty. Like when Steve tells me I suck sometimes, I just kind of take it on the chin. But I don't get like some of the guys in our sport that are just so sensitive to being criticized. Like you watch the ESPN and how some of these guys talk about some of these players, it's just ruthless.
Yeah. Oh, Steve, you think Steve's bad? You ever listen to Stephen A?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
That guy's on another level. So I have thick skin. My dad is not like
No.
if I'm not good on the track, I'm gonna hear it, and there's no smoothing it over. It's pretty raw. So I'm used to it.
I like talking to your dad. I've talked to him at a few different races, and he's a cool guy.
Yeah. Your dad's not
very honest.
Yeah, your dad is not scared. Not scared. No.
He likes Steve though too. I think they kind of have maybe a little bit of
maybe the same way. But no, man. Hey, super happy for you. That's awesome. Congrats to you. Congrats to Honda. What a season with the brothers and Lars and Shane and Brandon Wilson. Everybody there. Zim. I'm happy for your guy Zim. And even Rooster. Even that Rooster guy. All of you guys. It's awesome. Congratulations. Really good job. Thank you for taking the time for us too.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on again.